Alright, these are the rings and everything. Everybody's always, you know, publishing something about my jewelry and my statement rings and shock rock lipstick and symbolic stuff going over my face to bring out a certain statement that might be Navajo Indian or Native American Indian or something choo-cha, or rather. I'm finding that most people today that are coming to me are saying things around, I wake up in the morning and I don't know my purpose for having been born. I don't know why my parents had me. They're divorced. I don't know why I have a sibling. She's a cunt. Or he's a fucking prick. Everybody gossips around me. My friends don't really think that I'm going to follow through with anything because they know I'm mentally challenged. And I frankly want to die. I'm not suicidal, I'm not going to hurt myself, but I have undertones of suicide in my life. What do I do, Tyler Lord Hamilton? Because I have been creating art, my social arts, from your theory, Tyler Lord Hamilton. My social arts theory is what I've come up with at Social Alchemy Project Access Management, where you can access the management of your own social alchemy, your own transformation based on your own self-governance, and a treatment plan that I put you through and things like this because of my research findings, blah, blah. Social Alchemy Project, which is running nearly over 400 videos on this YouTube channel. So my bloody tears that are coming down my throat or face toward my throat, is just not Cyndi Lauper enough. So what we're doing is we are swapping out all my colors for what? The color pink in the apartment. So I created a little table right here, and I wanted to go through a few notes that I have over here about Social Alchemy Project Access Management. So everything also revolves around art, in entertainment, that you're going to find something avant-garde, eccentric, not entirely grounded, but very like underworld, beyond like grounded, like actually under the soil, because we're walking zombies and we're all the walking wounded, and we're all living in this dense energy where we can't really become who we know we are because of opportunity and music only making money and people not investing in your work, your art, because there's no money, there's no comeback. So it's like the pay for all but no for all wins. Pay as you go to get saved at certain churches. Also the pay for work, capitalist decaying, American dream being a nightmare for most people. So let me go ahead and take some of these notes with me, and then we'll go ahead and tell you more about where we are coming from. I am British. I do come from Sir Isaac Newton lineage. I also have Armenian Empire. That's why it put me in sweet Beverly Hills, with a bunch of Armenian and Persian friends. Let me get my coffee. One moment. Right, here's my coffee, and I think this is my, I try to feature pretty China, Pretty China, life is difficult that, when you've lived your life in a mug at some retreat or lodge or ranch or skiing destination, snow, you realize that, when you come home and you feel a little bit better than everybody because you've traveled to Europe, or you've spent money in a certain way because, you're capitalist, or you're spouse is capitalist, one learns very quickly that the best you can do is do right here, right now. So none of this make America great again, or you can be so-and-so, or you can be transformed. You have transformed. That's the alchemist. Everybody comes to me, and I automatically, off the charts, become so frank with them about the way they need to perceive themselves in thinking the way they think, but now learning to unthink what they thought, and now learning how to think about learning. That's all social alchemy. Thought. Cleaning out the dirty thoughts. So, in some of my work, you get very challenged because to find my work, you have to go through a lot of videos. There are times where myself, Tyler Lord Hamilton, is the male Lady Gaga in the talent industry deemed by Athena Talent Management of Beverly Hills, California. Tyler Lord Hamilton is the Hugh Hefner of the gay community and all the hot studs in WeHo, which is West Hollywood, Tinseltown in Los Angeles. I, of course, live in Beverly Hills. The goals, of course, of Social Alchemy Project and people accessing their management by the care of other people and themselves, was a win-win situation. I invest in your career, in the alchemy, in what your plan is and what your goals need to be set up for you to now go do. And you help me in certain places, such as my goals, organizing templates for website construction, noteworthy.org, or tlhnetwork.com combined, tylordhamilton.org, Tyler Lord Hamilton Online, Tyler Lord Hamilton Network, Social Alchemy Project, The Giant Balloon, Hamilton Credentials, socialalchemyproject.org or .com, or whatever, YouTube channel, online, .net, .com, .org, all that is still up for discussion. Now, in the midst of organizing these different committees, because when we don't understand something as what we're doing at Social Alchemy Project, we always say we put that into another committee's hands. So we always have a folder set up that says committees. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So as we are dialoguing, creating talks on the social alchemy of man, gay or straight, we establish physical folders. Now, in getting our work archived and stored, we have external hard drives, we have cloud where it's unreserved, or it's unlimited, and it's all the time. So if there's a fire or a flood or an earthquake in Beverly Hills, we'll at least have this in another location and also cloud. So everything is documented by folders, whether they be online or not online. So that's what we're looking at. So when we come upon an abstract idea or something that's really impossible for us to begin to orchestrate and organize, because everything is about Tyler Lord Hamilton, community organizer, social scientist, entertainer, reverend, all of the above, author, lecturer, but he is community organizer, which is public administrator, mayor, governor, senate, congressman, whatever. But right now it's at the fact of we end global poverty with men, and we look at public health and behavioral in the social sciences issues that include lowering STDs and helping us, know how to live, knowing how to social engineer our lives, or better yet, re-socialize. The re-engineering of what we think is the norm, the status quo, what we do want of it, what we don't want of it, and how we are now individualistic. We are giving of our hearts, and good blessing comes back. Now, as you are giving, I am sure that as I am watching over that you are getting back 2 times, 3-fold, 5-fold, what have you. Because all the work that you do, once you contact me and you sit here or somewhere else in Beverly Hills, the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel or Hotel of Bel Air or what have you, you know, you're going to be in the win. So, we're ending global poverty, we're bringing education, social justice education to men in a secular humanist progressive social movement versus maybe a religion. That's a very important point. We don't understand that, we can't develop any more on that idea, but we can put it in a committee file and stash it away. We're creating new ideas. Because when family closes off their hearts on men, or women, but men, because I'm looking at the masculinist movement, like the feminist movement, I'm looking at a masculinist theory, like a feminist theory. Everything is for the theory of man, gaymanity, which is the humanitarian, philanthropic vantage point in the humanities for the gay man, of the gay man, and by the gay man. Nothing is selfish. Because that's what people tell me all the time. So-and-so is selfish. I can't trust so-and-so. Well, then we have to have an effect on social alchemy, right? We have to have an effect on social change. Well, we know through great gurus and Gandhi and what have you, the change begins with you, all right? And so I'm going to get you to see you make that change over the course of 6 months or what have you. Here we create a political, intentional, social arts theory that for the man in greed and corruption and living his life only for cock, but not developing education, not knowing how to think, not knowing how to pull away from some of the alcohol, the drugs, the sexual violence in the porn industry. Who is he with gender polity and this celebrityness in the political oriented landscape of the elite in Beverly Hills? So while the emphasis has always been on helping poor men, we're actually helping gay poor men and gay rich men. We're helping all men, regardless of sexual orientation and orientation persuasion, gay, bisexual, straight, transgender, bisexual, Q for questioning. We end the negative thinking that we are disintegrating because of the capitalistic decay, the capitalism decaying, where it's harder to come upon money. And so we're chasing our personal successes, but yet we can't get any sleep at night because we rate ourselves based on zeros. We place value on who we are based on zeros. Based on $100, $1,000, $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion, quadrillion dollars. So there's this corrupt political activism around us when we look into the media, and it alienates us from other people in our daily human lives that are common, very average, let's say, but can be very elegant. And there's this oppressiveness, this stepping all over us, and the door will not open to us to do social programs, to invest in people, because your government doesn't believe in social programs, because it's not in the budget. It's not worth enough of them sacrificing 3% of their income in an ethical, welcoming collective consciousness in the House of Representatives, your Senate, legislatures, Congress. So in an Oxford Union meeting at Oxford University, it goes beyond the Me Too movement. That is men standing up for women against rape. But it's about the Me Too movement now becoming a men's movement, which is not Me Too movement anymore. Crisscross. It's that men care for men to work through their bitterness and their unforgiveness and resentment toward their wives that they want to murder and beat the shit out of. Because in a capitalism crisis, the woman is not going to marry down, she's going to marry up. So they say, ditch the bitch and make the switch. Come on to the gay side, and we can help you as some war refugee of women. So people are in a political disorientation right now because of gender politics, because of political homosexuality, because of sex scandal, because of broken marriages, because of gay marriage not becoming legitimized and it be compared to bestiality and canine and pedophilia. Ending the global poverty for an Alchemy Project means stop thinking poor. Stop thinking that you are in the loss because of your loss of psychological masculinity, because at Alchemy, you've made that change. We've turned that switch on. We're going to do everything that you want to do with an international movement of men, with a global democracy without force, breaking gender boundaries and borders down without force, not intruding, not being divisive, but complementing the conflict and saying through the conflict there's change of thought. The democratic socialism is very strong today because people don't think there is reform. They don't think there is a thing such as anarchy because it's related 95% to violence. So what they're doing is they're refusing to vote. But in world politics and the empowerment of men without force, we want to end gay human sex trafficking, even sex trafficking against girls. We want to end your pedophilia, your taboo, your forbidden, like perv, but perv. You know, you're okay with perv, but not perv. Getting somebody's hands into something that doesn't belong to them. That is where we end the divide. We say, you know, us men have been attacked by our own victim precipitation of thinking that we have to continue going back to him because it was hot sex, or he paid for our meal, or we traveled, or he gave us our Rolex ring, or now we drive our Maserati part-time when we're not in Islam. We're over in Beverly Hills. So in the 1950s and 1960s, where reform was very big, we left reform there and we went to more big government, social welfare programs, food stamps, because America is a third world country. So looking at gay guys of Beverly Hills with Tyler Lord Hamilton and going into social justice filming, because if Jesus Christ was living, he would be either a social worker or maybe a film worker, and maybe not so much a politician that says, I want all governments to fall upon my shoulders. That's what the Bible teaches. The Bible says that you cast your sin to the Lord, give it to the cross. Well, why in the whatever daylights do you think Jesus would want my sin for? Why am I giving sin to Jesus and giving it over to the Lord? Why don't we give it back over to who it belongs to? Ourselves, and own it and take responsibility. Now, Hamilton is about self-created man. The name is Tyler Lord Hamilton. People run around saying, oh, Tyler Lord Hamilton. Whoa. No, it's alchemy. It's that I have made myself a self-created man. I'm here to show you point by point on how to do that, starting with gratitude. Now, people pay hundreds of dollars for me to teach them that, and I just gave you one of my secrets. falling in love with somebody like Tom Cruise, who has an influence over the world, next to being affluent, people are drawn to what? They're drawn to the mystery of what? Mexico. Mexicali, drugs. See? This is from Mexico. This is also from Mexico. Maybe from actually Madrid, I forget. I went to like a bullfight. It's famous, famous, famous. The royal family was there. It was a long story. Anyway, so you want gay guys at Beverly Hills or living it up with a gay man of Beverly Hills 90210, starring Tyler Lord Hamilton. You want an I Love Tyler show. You want a T culture like an O culture. You want man and cock to be out there as a gay person and representative in diplomacies and world peace, in order to say, hey, television, Hollywood, Washington, D.C., the UN, let's go ahead and say with the Brits, we can create world peace, and we don't have to go through Russia or China. China can go straight to the British Parliament, not Washington, D.C. So now, men are very impulsive, and that's another one of the secrets, is that we have to acknowledge that, you know, in the kingship of masculinity, it's always about warrior, it's always about making more money, having a larger cock, raping someone, murdering people, assassinating people with your wife okay with it, even going into other countries as a terrorist. Now, with impulsive behavior and technology and STDs and sex and lack of hygiene and waste problems and climate change issues and ending animal brutality and human sex trafficking, when we're saying help set people free by giving them money but still making them a prostitute to the United States Federal Reserve System, we still have social behaviorism in the health sciences as a problem, because there's no woman in her life to show her what it means to be a woman. So the issues are not only fathers to sons, but it's also mothers to women, because it's the motherland, America. Now, in the life changes, countering new idea and making commitment to that, you're going to feel your body want to leave. Oh, I think somebody just knocked. It's very... Whoa. Anyways, excuse me. I think my neighbors were just knocking on the door. There are people that are renting downstairs. It's a coke, like some coke whore. Into it's a joke, but I needed to wrap this up. It's becoming a very lengthy video, and what you encounter is your spirit wanting to leave your body at times. When you're disconnecting from somebody's hatred and bigotry to you, you feel yourself almost wanting to float from out of your feet, and the whole forgiveness aspect to what we're bringing in alchemy is very real. So if you could take all my 400 videos or 500 plus videos of shock rock and put it all into this description of why we create social arts theory for men, it's to rejuvenate men and to finally empower them in such a way that women have not necessarily been able to do, nor men being watched by women have been able to do. So welcome to Social Alchemy, and this is to help the mentally ill gay men out there for sure. Dankeschön. And helping you come out of the closet.